bright sunshine of Paris glittered on Orly Airport as the Royal Viscount airliner came to rest prompt at noon. It was the beginning of Her Majesty's 4-day state visit to France. President Coty received his royal visitors. That greeting personified the warm friendship between the two countries of which they are the heads of state. Along 80 yards of red carpet, the President escorted Her Majesty to the passengers' waiting room, which had been royally decked out for the great occasion. Members of the French cabinet and the ambassadors of Britain and Commonwealth countries were among those presented. For both nations, this was a halcyon day. Along the 12-mile drive from Orly to the Elysee Palace, the Republican Guard rode in escort. The people of the capital already left no doubt that they had taken the Queen to their hearts. The cars came to the presidential palace by the garden entrance. 9 years had passed since the Queen and Duke were last here. That was in 1948, before Her Majesty became Queen. Now from the balcony she acknowledged more cheering. After luncheon, the Queen and Duke followed the custom of distinguished visitors to the French capital by driving to the tomb of the unknown warrior. Monsieur Boris Monnery, as Minister of Defense, rode with the Queen. Beneath the Arc de Triomphe burns the quenchless flame of the warrior's tomb. Warrant officers of the 3 British services placed the Queen's wreath of lilies, irises, and red and white carnations. The card was inscribed from Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, and all thoughts turned to the flower of British and French manhood sacrificed in 2 world wars. The Queen added her name to the illustrious signatures in the Golden Book. Back at the Elysee Palace, Her Majesty was the guest of honor at a state banquet. President Coty said that the old Entente Cordiale had been sealed by the blood shed in 2 wars into an indissoluble union between Britain and France.
L'entente politique des 2 gouvernements, l'entente cordiale des 2 peuples, quel exemple.
In her reply, the Queen said Europe had for centuries been the cradle of freedom, France one of its most zealous guardians. Our 2 peoples thoroughly understood each other.
Je bois à la prospérité de la France et des peuples qui lui sont associés. Puisse la confiance et la compréhension mutuelle entre la République française et le Royaume-Uni durer toujours.
Ah, elles sont charmantes, mais ça a été dit d'une façon impeccable. Alors maintenant, je dirais, je connais maintenant 4. Maintenant, je connais 4 qui parlent français.
Meanwhile, at the Opera House were gathering one of the most notable audiences even that great theatre has known in our time. Outside, the great crowd were at last rewarded for their long wait. The Queen was arriving. Observers said that fully 100,000 people were there to cheer. From the most dress-conscious people in the world came gasps of admiration as the Queen alighted from the presidential car. Not even the world-famous houses of Dior and Balmain could have surpassed the creation in which Her Majesty was so exquisitely arrayed. As the star dancers Leon Dade and Michel Renaud were presented, all eyes were on the Queen's gown of ivory satin, embroidered with pearls, topaz and gold. The crowd then saw the Queen in all her glory. During the interval, she and Prince Philip once more returned the warm salutations of Paris. Very auspiciously, the state visit had begun.